Tonight we have from Utah currently. He loves hats. He loves doing backflips, and he loves
You
looking good with his little mustache. He is Best in Show winner, Jonathan C. Gross. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Good. I've been waiting to address the name thing, but I'm doing good. I'm in Salt Lake City, so I drove up from Arizona, stopped in Denver because my sister just had a baby. Visited with them, and then went to Casper and kind of doing a loop to Salt Lake City. I'll be in Las Vegas tomorrow, back to Phoenix. So,
Are you driving?
yep,
Good
because
for you. You're not cheating.
I usually drive with my dog, so I factor in what the price of travel, flying and boarding him versus driving. So they
Do you
usually
ever do you ever let him drive?
no, he sleeps. He sleeps.
Oh,
Guess who's here right now?
who?
My
Oh
sister.
my!
Jenny Hunt. The Jenny Hunt.
The Jenny Hunt is here. My God!
Wow, your whole
How does that
family's
make
here
you
tonight.
feel, Jonathan? That Jenny is
Honestly,
here.
I've been going to competitions, and I feel like this might be the first one where my parents actually got excited. Um, you know, my mom is trying to plan a family trip around like worlds now. Uh,
That's
and
awesome,
I've
man.
never really left North America. I've been to like Cancun and Canada, but not really
Mhm.
overseas, we'll say. So I think it'd be fun. Um,
So is that your plan? You gonna go to
I
Germany?
think I think our family's gonna to plan something around it. Yeah.
Are you
But
gonna
I
stick
guess
to
that's
your?
my announcement.
There it is. Breaking news on Talking Beards tonight.
We'll
Jonathan C. Gross will be going to Worlds. Are you going to be in
With
the
his
natural
mom and his
category?
sister.
Well, my dad will probably come too, but I had a hard time deciding whether to do natural or styled. But the main reason why I got into natural is because at the Austin competition, I actually couldn't find like my products in my blow dryer. So I just had to do natural. And then I won. So then I was like, all right,
Worked out.
this is telling me something. And then, coming in Friday, I drove up from Denver, so I wasn't able to compete on Friday. I didn't get to see all the mustaches on stage. I'm sure that was probably a joy to see.
It was
Um,
amazing.
Especially because there's some competitions where there's not really many mustaches at all. And for everybody to come together, it was cool. But I kind of got to see what everyone was doing. And I was like, man, if I were to style this thing, I would have to have it on the money. And I haven't styled my mustache in probably, 2 years. So I was like, that'd be kind of hard to just pull out of the bag and beat all those guys.
Well, I think you, as Andrew put, you chose wisely for your category for this weekend.
Yeah, I've had nationals on my radar for quite a while, probably like 8 months. I usually will cut the curls, but this time I was like, nope, I gotta let it grow. I have to let it grow, and day by day, when you wear a natural mustache, it can get in 100 directions. So it's been tough to get to this point. Um, but yeah, it's here.
So will that be what you do? Will you cut your curls off now and let it grow back for Worlds, or what's your plan?
Well, I was thinking about it because snowboarding season's right here around the corner.
Well, I mean, you can't cut them off too soon because you've got all these media obligations,
I
I'm
know.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm definitely not doing it anytime soon. I was actually upset because I was trying to grow like a pretty good beard. I have a good like partial naturally, but it doesn't come in the sides, and I had to shave for the competition. And it is No Shave November, so I kind of felt guilty doing that. But
Well, you didn't shave your mustache, so that's
Yeah.
the most important thing.
yeah.
Now, just to kind of give everyone like a little I guess tutorial about the difference between the styled and the natural mustache and what you're talking about using product and everything. Like your mustache is just naturally like that because you've pretty much, as it's grown, you've trained it by every day just brushing it and kind of just curling it. So your mustache like lays like that naturally, correct?
Yeah, so I use a round brush and a blow dryer every morning after I get out of the shower. And it holds pretty well right where it is. I've tried to do like the dolly. I've tried to do, the English and all that, but every time I try to go somewhere else, my mustache is just fighting back to get to this shape. It's kind of a trip. So
Your mustache owns you.
yeah, it's a wild ride. It's got me on this podcast. So it's fun.
Do you use any oils or balms on a regular basis, or you just
So
completely leave it like it is?
I just heard somebody say that hair shampoo is supposed to take the oils out. And then, beard shampoo is supposed to keep the oils in. And I mean, I just heard that this weekend and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So I'll use oil. I don't really use like a specific one. There's so many that you start picking up after you
Mhm.
start going to competitions, you start to get bags of it. But I'll oil it up probably maybe once or twice a week just to
That's
give
it.
it some hydration.
All you need.
Yeah. And it holds well.
Look at this. See, Ortney's here. She said that you're the sweetest guy and deserving
It's
of
great. Her
best
hair
in
is
show.
her hair is like amazing.
It is long.
I mean, it's amazing.
Ooh,
Um,
congrats,
Wilson's
Jonathan.
here.
Do you like this? Do you like that we're gonna make people call you Jonathan?
all right, so let's get to it.
Oh, yes. Let's get to this.
My dad,
Jonathan C. Gross.
my dad would always call me Jono Man my whole life growing up. He'd be like, Jono Man, like my whole life. Then when I got to kindergarten, they asked me what my name was, and I said Jono Man. And
I knew
the
that's what you-
teacher wasn't having it. So then she's like, all right, we're just going to cut off the man and you'll go by Jono. So my whole life throughout school, everybody called me Jono and it just kind of stuck. My mom still calls me Jonathan. That's why that's how it popped back up. But that's the story of how Jonathan got to Jono.
So
Jonathan.
your mom is like the only person that actually calls you Jonathan
Yeah. Yes.
Until tonight.
Sometimes. Yeah.
until
Sometimes.
now. Well, we ruined that for you. Sorry.
Oh,
No, it's fun. It's fun.
yeah. Welcome to the world of Talking Beards, where we give everyone nicknames and butcher their names, even if we know how to say it perfectly fine. We just add like bunches of flair. We'll just put it that way.
Flair or flavor to your name.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just gives it something extra. And your
Yeah.
mom just helped us out, so we didn't even have to come up with anything. So thanks, Mom.
Adam says best competitor I've ever gone up against. Congratulations once again.
Yes. So he almost took me out pretty quick. He was in natural mustache as well. He won the night before on Friday. And I mean, his mustache can be seen from a mile away. It's so thick and it's dark and you could always see it. So, when we went up on stage on Saturday, I mean, I was worried. But I ended up pulling through and then that led all the way to best in show. So that was probably the only threat I had. Well, I guess everybody's mustaches and beards look great. I can't even believe that I won. It was a treat. It's honestly unbelievable.
So I just want to hear how this very thing, like, what did you think when you won best in show? Like, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, I didn't plan on it. I mean, when I walked past the judges, I was like, there's so many good competitors on
It's
stage.
the best of the best.
Yeah. So the main thing I kept doing is I just went to the judges and I was like, just remember, I'm in the natural category. You know what I mean? Just because, everybody's styled up and I was like, that has to be known to the judges on their last look. And then, when we got on stage, they pulled Levi down first, who had groom mustache.
Beautiful. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There wasn't a hair out of place.
Nope.
And then they called me and I'm like, oh shoot, they're going to call another mustache person.
That's honestly what I thought. I thought it was going to be Bob. I thought it was going to be you three mustaches for best in show.
Yeah. So I was ready for that. And I mean, honestly, best in show comes down to a 3-way tie. And then my number's called and I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then we're all standing there in front of the judges. And then there's a 2-way tie between me and Levi. So I'm just like, for a solid 3 minutes, I'm just going through the ringer. My heart's racing.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of adrenaline sports, but that definitely had my adrenaline going to a whole different level. And then, my number was called, and all I remember is just kind of being in the air. I don't even remember being lifted in the air.
You got lifted.
Yeah, I was just there. All of a sudden I was in the air, and I was like, I grabbed the book and the big ribbon, and I was just holding it in the air. I don't even know what I was holding for, I was
You're just like, I'm holding stuff.
It could be a severed head.
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming. I was kind of like, what just happened, So it was cool, and it happened at a decent time too. I mean, this was a really early competition, and it ended at a good time too. So it allowed everybody to hang out afterwards. It was the best competition I've ever been to.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That was the rumor on the street. It was a 3-way tie, but then they were like, who's going to be the easiest to lift?
Yeah.
And then that was the deciding factor. So congratulations on being the smallest one on stage.
That's awesome.
All right. Here's a question. Now let's take this back a couple. Is this your first nationals, or you've competed before, correct?
First competition ever was nationals.
Oh,
in
what year
Richmond.
was that?
Oh, wow.
So Great American.
Oh yeah, at the Great American.
That's not nationals. Don't
you
mix it up, because
wow, you just got yelled at
you over that.
Wait, sorry about that.
Well,
that was my first competition. I guess this is my first nationals, to be honest.
Weren't you in Scranton?
Nope.
I thought you were in Scranton.
So what? All right, now just
all you hat wearing dudes all look alike. I could have swore you were in Scranton.
Mustache guys. They all look like that.
Yeah, that's it. All of you. My bad. All right.
But as Aaron said, that he noticed that there were a lot of first timers that were there this year. Now, all right. So Great American, that was 4 years ago in Richmond, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I believe so.
Now, why? Why was that your first one? What compelled you?
Honestly, it was really hard to find competitions. And for me, joining the community was tough. The only mustache competition I really found online was that one. So I just went to it. And then you actually, find out about all the regional thanks. Then you find out about all the regional clubs, and then like you start to understand it. And then it made it a little easier, but that's kind of how I got to that one.
So you just wanted to do it, and you stumbled into one, and
well,
like, dang, it's hard to find or whatever.
Some guy came up to me on the golf course and said, you should compete in competitions. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is just as I'm in amateur mustache mode. This is like, I've been growing my mustache for like 8 years. And this was like maybe 2 years in when I just started getting curls. So that was like 6 years ago. And then, once you meet the community, go to a competition and like, just get it, it's something special.
I completely agree. There's just something about this entire community that's extremely special to a lot of people. And I'm glad you're in it now, because you're a delight.
And that's leading into what I'm about to say too, about like there's certain moments in being involved in this community that just like are like these fantastic moments. And one of my most fantastic moments so far in being involved in the whole thing for over a decade was judging with the two of you guys was at Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had
the 4th of July.
That was like one of my favorite competitions I've ever been to. And just sitting next to you like the whole entire night, like you are like one of my all-time, I love you, dude. Like you are one of my favorite guys in the community. You exude so much positivity, and just like, as people keep writing in the chat about how amazing you are and how nice you are and just how sweet you are. I mean, you are just one of the most genuinely just terrific people I've ever met in my life. And you've like tremendously touched me. And I can't, I mean, I can't think of words to like, you're getting me to stumble right now.
my
God's in love with you.
my sister always says it. She goes, "How do you just wake up, excited and happy every day?" And I'm just like, I don't know. I just try to put good energy out there. It's kind of just, when you put it out there, you'll just see the whole world change around you, and
I agree.
then you see it go, affect other people, and it's all about just lifting everybody up, because you never really know what somebody's actually going through,
Like
or lift it up. So you just try to be nice to everybody, like, especially like if I'm at a restaurant and the waiter messes up or anything and gives me the completely wrong order, I don't even really say anything. I know they're at work, they probably don't want to be there, like, I just try to be good to everybody around me. And
yeah, you're good to people, and then people will be good to you in return.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go out of my way to do anything for you, buddy. Like you're just one of those guys that like, and I hope that like you stay in this community for a long time, because you're very inspiring. And especially you so deserved what you got this past weekend in Casper. I mean, like, I cannot give you enough kudos for this. And you've been like one of the guys that I've really wanted to get on this show for like a long time. Like, you've been like one of those like gets for me. And like, as Aaron and I were kind of talking about, like, who should we have on? And like, you were just right there in my head. I'm like, God, I would love to have him on, but like now he's like too famous, and he's not going to spend time with us.
No matter what, if I ever got famous or whatever you want to call it, I'd never treat people differently.
You heard it here first.
That was the coolest thing about it, is even just like messaging you after, and just like, I tried to respond to all the messages I was getting, to just, I responded to, there was more people that texted me this weekend than on my birthday. And I mean, it was crazy. And I just tried to, communicate with everybody and just say thank you. Like,
it was a big deal, dude. You freaking did it. Like, you are at the peak of your competitive world. You mastered it, and it was an honor to watch you win. Honestly, it was super cool. Like, honestly, I didn't think a Mustache was going to win Best in Show. That's not usually how these things shake out. So once I saw Goebel get pulled, I was like, well, Goebel's going to win, but dude, you freaking did it.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
I called my mom after. I said, I don't even know what just happened, and the first picture that I posted was just me with all the lights on after, just standing there with the big ribbon. And I'm like, you guys just wait till I share what just happened. I didn't even know how to express it, but the photos really do it justice. There's just some great photos to share, like that actual moment. So I was excited when I got to see those.
So let's get to the really important question that everybody wants to know. How do you spell mustache?
Oh, well, when a lot of people come up to me and say Moustache, like, you have a great mustache, I'm just like, you're saying it right. I always love to put the O in there, but I would say the John O is the O in Mustache. No, I usually do.
You need a t-shirt with that.
That's a freaking t-shirt, 100%.
Yeah, Mustache. That's usually how I do it, but with the O in there, I'd say it's a little more proper.
So which way do you usually spell it? Without the O?
I usually do without the O. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I always do it with the O, so you're wrong.
You need to. It just
because apparently this is what I told Matt. Apparently, I told Matt he was wrong, so that's where that came from.
That's awesome.
So what's next on the agenda for you? Have you been like, have any like press like reached out to you for interviews, or I mean, other than us, but I mean, other than that, like what's your next goal? What's your next thing?
I don't know what my next goal is. Honestly, I have a goal to really connect more with the Mustache community, like Levi and the whole Death Grip gang. I definitely want to help him do what he's trying to do. Because he's in Colorado, not too far from my sister. And anything I could do to just help anybody's brand. That's my goal. Just help. I just want to see everybody do well.
So
But
speaking of
competition wise, I'm asking though.
Competition wise, I don't know. I really don't have any on the agenda. This one was really, it's kind of like when you try to go, so you want to go somewhere and then you get there, but you don't have what's next planned,
Mhm.
So I guess Worlds is probably the next on the agenda. If there's any competitions I can go to in between, that's cool. When I lived in Indiana, it was easy to bounce around to, Cincinnati, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Chicago. It was I really had a lot of touch of it. But now I'm in Arizona. I'm not really sure if there's a group out there.
There's a couple groups out
Oh,
there. I know
there's-
Canyon State's in Arizona, and there's an Arizona
Yeah.
Beard Mob, but I don't know what they're even doing anymore. But there's
I
a
gotta start
couple
digging into it.
dormant type beard clubs that maybe you could get shaken up and get them going again. Go ahead, Scott Score.
Might I suggest one of the most fruitful clubs that attended the national championships? I mean, Aaron, please sell them on this.
Yeah, so you could just join Talking Beards the club, really.
Oh yeah,
tell
me more about it. I heard it on stage.
Yeah, dude, there was like 22 of us there.
I know, right?
And most of all of us announced it on stage, and I think 16 or 18 of us walked home with a ribbon. So that's pretty
We're
much
looking for a mustache
winning
guy.
beard club of all time, I think. So, I'm just saying. We're looking for a good mustache guy,
That's awesome.
And the thing is Talking Beards the club is really it's not anything like super formal. I mean, we're there for a good time.
Extremely formal.
Oh, sorry, pardon me.
Yeah, we're the most formal beard club in existence, I'm pretty sure. So super professional.
You don't need to wear a tie.
You can. Anyway, so earlier you said something about wanting to help brands like Levi's. So that kind of goes along with what you have going on in your non-competitive beard life. Tell us about your company.
Yeah, so I started a marketing company 6 years ago. And I used to do a lot of photo and video work, but then I partnered with somebody who builds websites because, you can do a shoot for a brand, but then the photos just go on social media. And then in 1 month, nobody even sees your photos again. So I was a little frustrated by that. And I said, how can these photos go further? So when you build a website and use that content, I mean, your photos are seen by a lot more. And then you could really help brands instead of using like stock images and things like that. You actually capture who they are, what they do, and help tell their story. So my mom's got a boutique store. I used to do, some photo and video for her every time I'd go in there. And it's just like helping people, bring their brand together. A lot of times people get caught just running their business and it's hard for them to promote it. But for me, like an outside perspective, I just bring ideas to the table. And that's really what I enjoy do. So that's what I do full time. I run a marketing company.
So to a lot of brands, when you bring in these hot new ideas, are they usually, they take your ideas, or do you get a lot of pushback?
I wouldn't say I get too much pushback. They're just excited that I'm excited. It's fun to make a power wash company look cool, or
Right.
like a concrete company look cool. Like that's our goal.
But do you now you have this extra little asterisk next to your name, like national champion?
Yeah.
Like, boy, everyone will be like, whoa, we want to work with this guy now. He obviously knows something.
Well, it's pretty funny. I'm grabbing my business card. All my business cards have a mustache on them. So
Smart.
Yeah, it's people remember me when I come around again. And it's always just a good icebreaker.
How on earth does someone not remember you after meeting you? That's the big question.
Yeah. I bring a lot of energy to the table. Some people, can soak it in, and some people are like, this is too much energy. But, I always just try to be myself and, to everybody.
That's better than trying to be like Aaron.
Yeah, way better.
I mean,
I don't even have a mustache.
You got more than a mustache.
Compared with me, I mean, I've been working on mine for a while. It'll never be as good as yours, though. Like it goes down instead of up.
Yeah.
What
You're
kind of?
working
All right.
on it,
So what
Scott.
You
kind?
might just be curling it the wrong way, you know? Sometimes you go forward, sometimes you run it back.
I don't curl it though. I just brush it just out. So how about this? What kind of tips could you give me? Like, I mean,
Ooh,
let's
that's
see.
good.
Look,
You want me to go run grab my round brush and a blow dryer and show you?
we don't have to go to that extent, but like, I mean, like for anyone who wants to try to have,
I think a lot of people with mustaches, though I have this big part in the middle, a lot of people want to get a round brush and go around this way, you know, and run the curls this way. And then all of a sudden this curl comes from the back. See, I just changed the whole dynamic of the curl. So yeah, that actually might look a little better right now. But but when I originally said it, I always go from the outside this way. And get it to go this because the biggest problem with mustaches is the curls falling forward. If they fall back, they'll hold on your face.
Mhm.
yeah.
And then when you compete, you just kind of push them forward a little bit, but it's different trying to push them back because then they're just wanting to fall forward again.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
mine just consistently wants to just it does like it goes up and then down. Like I can never get this side. Like it's just I don't know. That's just the way that's the way
You
my
gotta
hair
train
grows.
it, Scott. You got
Shut up,
you gotta
Aaron.
train it. Do you have a round brush?
No, I got a
Well,
That's
square
what
one.
you need.
you
So
need a round brush.
I found out from the girl who cut my hair for a while, went to school with her. She got me a round brush that was a 1-inch round brush, and the thing with the barrel is metal. So the more heat that you put on it, you're actually heating the comb or the whole brush. So it essentially is turning into like a mild curling iron, you know, as the more you're hitting it with heat.
So you
Do you-
want it? That's the question. You want to put the heat on the brush, not your
Well,
mustache.
no, you'll put it on, you'll be putting it on the mustache, but as you're hitting the comb, it's heating the barrel.
All right.
Do
Yeah.
you ever use curlers or do you always use a
Oh,
round
you
brush?
know, I bought a bunch of curlers from Amazon where they give you those packages of all sizes.
Yeah, there's
And
like
I
1,000 of them in there.
and I've tried to do that. That didn't really work. Sometimes I would just like hold it like this for a while. And, you know, if you look at some of my early years with my mustache, my curls were going 100 directions. I couldn't really figure it out. And the way that a lot of the styled mustache guys, they put so much product in that I
Mhm.
don't even know how they do it, you know? Like the way Bob can get his mustache to look like I don't know if I don't have the patience or I haven't figured it out, but it's a lot of work. And then when you get the product out, you're just pulling so many hairs with it, and those are valuable.
So you don't like it's perfectly fine for you to be in a natural category and use a blow dryer and a brush. No judges has ever been like, well, that's kind of a styling aid. Has that ever anything like that ever been said to you?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's a styling aid because there's nothing in it that's holding it. I mean,
Right.
this is just in it, you know? Would you consider it a styling aid?
No, not at all. But I
Yeah.
have heard people with that argument in life that, oh, well, you're using a blow dryer. That's a styling aid. Well, a styling aid's like hairspray or something. But I just
Yeah.
didn't know if anybody like while you've been judged in a natural category, have they been like, that's not
Well,
that's not natural because it's got curls
yeah.
or whatever.
And that brings up a good point. I was actually concerned a bit going in because I was like, I actually have like a handlebar mustache. You know what I mean? And there
Yeah.
was like a handlebar category, and I was like, are they going to give it to the person whose mustache looks the most natural, or whose mustache looks the best without product in it?
Mhm.
Um, and that was definitely a concern of mine as well.
Well, and that's like one of my questions I want to actually bring up to Aaron because, like, all right, so Andrew won in styled goatee.
Right.
Now, what's the difference between
Shaped
shaped? What's
goatee.
the difference between the shaped goatee and then the goatee under and over 18?
So it was a distance from the earlobe to the beginning of the beard line. So his was earlobe to the beard line was 3 inches. And so over 18 and under 18, the gap was 1.5 inches from the earlobe to the beard line.
So then
that's
what
a
would the
razor tip.
difference be between, like, as he's saying about the handlebar mustache and, like, I mean, if your handlebar mustache,
I would assume the handlebar would be a styled. It has to have product in it for it to be a handlebar. I mean, I guess you probably could have entered the handlebar category if you wanted to, but a handlebar guy couldn't be in your category because he has
Yeah.
styling aids. But if
Yeah.
you want to kind of handicap yourself really and put yourself in another category, you probably would have been fine.
I would
But
have nailed it with hairspray, and this thing wouldn't have moved an inch. I wouldn't have been able to go like this. This thing, you'd be able to catch fish from my curl. It'd be so hard.
prove it.
Yeah, Christmas time. This is when everybody wants you to put ornaments in your beard and your mustache.
So do you ever do that?
I think I did it one time.
Yeah.
I put 2 in my mustache and then I hung them around my hat. It was fun.
that's so adorable.
I'm just kind of get with the holidays.
You got to, you know. I've put the little ornament things in my beard when I've done Christmas parades and stuff. But it's that time of year that we're all going to get tagged in those Christmas ornaments over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like people that you went to middle school with, they're like, he has a beard. All right, I've seen it on Facebook. I'm tagging him these ornaments. He's gonna like it.
So how much do you play with your mustache throughout a given day, or is it just kind of there?
Not much. I know that I just twisted it a bunch of ways, and here we are on camera. So I'm just trying to make it look the best that it can. But I really just set it and forget it. The funny thing is how I think I did well in Wyoming is I don't use cold air after when I use like warm air with the blow dryer and then hit it to cold to hold it.
Yeah.
But the second I walked outside, it was so dang cold. My mustache just like locked. I feel like I could feel it, you know?
Do you genuinely or generally not use cold on a day-to-day basis at all?
No, I don't think I've ever even clicked the cold button.
Why not?
I mean, honestly, every time you go to an event, you start learning so much talking to the community about like some of the stupidest things, like using cold air. Like, how did I not know that? I feel like an idiot, you know?
I learned, we're all learning stuff like decades into this. I mean, you know,
it's crazy.
Here you go, Scott Sykora. Here's your definition to read. You love reading.
I know. Natural mustache. Judges will be looking for a natural mustache with no style and aids present. The mustache must not begin growth from the skin at a distance further than 3/4 inch beyond the corner of the wearer's mouth. Any length of mustache hair is accepted. Handlebar mustache. The styled mustaches will be expected to have single open curl or loop on both sides. All hair growing from more than 3/4 inch past the corner of the mouth must be shaved.
Yep.
You see how it says MOUSTACHE? I'd like to point
well,
that's why I was reading it the way I was reading it.
A lot of mustaches will start like down here and they'll be a part of it, and then they just look ginormous, you know.
I've seen a bunch of full beard styled stash dudes pull from their beard like that.
Yeah. MJ a whole mustache.
Yeah, MJ completely cheats. I'm pretty sure he pulls some beard hair in his mustache. Like, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he does.
Dude, his style is iconic, man.
It's like 100%. Sean Rager from years ago, who doesn't compete anymore, but he had his mustache, like he did that. He grew it down like this, but his came down and like he grew it out like really long. It looked like a mustache, but it was all like basically a Fu Manchu, but really long. And he styled it to like literally almost look very similar to like what you have. But yeah, no, your mustache is just beautiful.
Thanks. That a comment just popped on how, you know, girls talk more about styling than men do, but you know, I think we're a pretty strong force coming alive, and there's just only more momentum behind the community. You know, I had a friend in Casper that I stayed with, and she's like had no clue what she was going to, and then after she was like, this is amazing, you know. Because half the time I'm you know, when you're there, you're like, yeah, I met this person in Virginia, I met this person in Texas, I met this person in San Antonio, and just like when the whole community comes together, I mean, it's just a special thing. There's nothing better than seeing people, you know.
Yeah, or people you don't know.
Yeah, that too. That's true too.
And you're such a friendly guy. You probably make 100 new friends at all these events too.
Yeah, I mean, all the bearded guys, the big bearded guys, those guys are so soft right here. They're all like, I'm like, I always go up to them and I always say, man, I wouldn't want to go against you in an arm wrestle. That's what I say to all the big dudes.
Yeah, but you're a mustache guy, so that's like what y'all do. You arm wrestle, and
It's
you
like
wear
bringing
those
a
hats,
gun
and
to
you
a
stand
knife
like
fight.
this. That's all mustache people do constantly.
And then they're like, oh no, I'm really a nice guy. And I'm like, no, I know.
What's
Hey,
up, Dan? See, yeah, well, I was
this
pretty
is the
bummed
guy
that-
you need to get on your show to talk about mustaches.
Yeah,
National champion
Dan C
right
was
here.
supposed to come to nationals, but he had some family stuff come up and he wasn't able to make it. But that was going to be a lot of fun having that dude there.
So one of the questions you guys said, like, am I getting a bunch of press attention and stuff for the mustache? Honestly, I think the Guinness World Record slammed that out the door.
Dude, it has gone everywhere today. It was on Fox News, like regular old Fox News. People were screenshotting it.
Talking to me about it at the dog park today. They're like, yeah, it was on NPR today. I heard about the beard chain, blah, 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 blah. And like, I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, just wait till those Greg Anderson pictures come out. It's going to be like round 2 of this thing. It's like the beard chain was maybe the appetizer for what's to come.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Greg
definitely
really sends those pictures out there, and a lot of people grab a hold of them.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely, since you are the tip top of the iceberg of the weekend, as competitor wise, your picture is going to definitely be. I mean, you might be people's sexiest man alive next year.
Probably. It'll be like this. Sexiest man alive right there.
See, they're all pointing at you.
You got Josiah, he's clean cut. You got Levi right there. You got just a bunch of good people. You got Natalie in there. It's awesome.
Natalie's mustache was bigger than yours, though.
So that guy, can you go back to that picture?
Yeah.
The guy in the blue shirt. I've never not on the other side with the vest, the silver vest. I've never seen somebody's beard start so high on their face.
It's like at his eyeballs.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
That guy is super nice. I talked to him several times all weekend. He is like the voice of Casper. I guess he's done radio stuff, he's done TV stuff, he does announcers, like, and he's just been running the gauntlet of local Casper media today. I talked to him a little bit ago, and he's done like 4 or 5 interviews today for local Casper stuff.
So he was a local guy that was his first competition.
He won Friday night. He won Saturday night. He wants to start a beard club. Like, that dude is all about it. Like, I think there's going to be a Casper beard club very soon after this event.
That's what I was worried about, honestly, going to Wyoming. I'm like, what rancher is just going to come out of the woods and just smoke the mustache category?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised.
That's what I was waiting for.
But it happened in the full beard category. Obviously, you were safe.
Yeah, but Adam Smalley, that guy, he's a good dude. Man, he gave me hot sauce from Alabama. He gave me syrup, and he was just that's what it's about. It's just going to these competitions, and then you can just build the greatest friendships with new people. You are right. It's not just about seeing who you know, but meeting more people.
Meeting new people from anywhere and everywhere, and then you just got friends everywhere, and it's wild. This whole beard thing is just super wild how it all works. Well,
all right.
I think that pretty well wraps it up. You got anything else you want to add there, Jono?
A lot of people said stuff about my hat. I actually made this hat, which is cool. I like to make hats. People have always like wanted them. I haven't had the capacity to really sell them and make them for everyone. I think it'd be so cool to just hook a bunch of people up in the community with them and be a cool resource.
I want you to make my first cowboy hat. So now that I'm in Texas and I need to get a cowboy hat, I think we could work together on making something cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool, because like this brim originally was this big. You trimmed it down, put on like a, almost like a little Western brim, and like a Western fedora. That's what I like to call this look. But everybody has their own styles, and it's kind of cool how you can almost make a hat like to somebody's facial hair or, you know, who they are. They're all original. So that's the only thing we didn't touch base on. It's been fun. Everybody's, you know, and a lot of people said stuff about my hat. So that was,
well, you've got Scott, Aaron, and Natalie here on your waiting list when you start creating hats.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
put us down for some creations of yours.
Yeah, that's fun. But no, overall, I really appreciate what you guys do for the community. I mean, this is the 190th show, is it?
191 of the
And
live show, 269 of the podcast. Scott
like,
started before we started this guy.
And like, seriously, like the amount of work that it takes to set up the lighting, the microphone, going live on YouTube, Facebook, just like everything that goes into a podcast. Like it's a marathon, and you guys are champs at it. So kudos to you guys for really putting a spotlight on the community, not only the competitions, but, you know, in the long run. You know, you got comps, and then you got podcast comps, and, you know, it's cool. So for people who are trying to really figure it out and know what the community is about, you just watch one podcast and you're pretty much up to date.
Well, thank you for those kind words. That was cool. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate that too. I mean, yeah, it's been a labor of love for years. I mean, and there are moments when you feel like, man, what do we talk about tonight? But then it like comes in these like weird ebbs and flows where it's like too much to cover, too much.
Like tonight, before the show, me and Scott were like, I don't know, we'll just kind of wing it and see what happens. Yeah. And then, you know, we could have went on for 15, 20 more minutes about your hats. Yeah. So
yeah, we could went on all night about just the Guinness World Record. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there are so many things happening in the community as of lately that there's just like our October show where we had covered almost 17 different events that were going on in the month of October. I mean, that's a lot
4 or 5 weekends. That's it. And it's 17, 18 events. It's crazy.
But we do have like, I think an order of 15 orders for hats going on in the chat room right
now.
See, there you go.
I got a page, Just Wild Man, JUST Wild Man. That's kind of like my hat page. I'll try to get deeper into it. It's a lot of work.
It sounds like you just picked up a lot more business tonight. So
that's fun. I'd love to have a hat booth, you know, and be at these events. You know, I want to, you know, get donations up for competitions. I want to keep partying. I'm down to be a judge. When I was asked to be a judge in Texas, that was a treat. And then hanging out with you guys on stage was a whole different perspective of the whole competition. I mean, being a judge is just so much fun. It's just so much fun. And I really hope, you know, this win this weekend really makes some clubs, you know, want to reach out and verifies me as a good judge.
Well, you are definitely certified in knowledge of mustaches and all beards that, I mean, anyone should be honored to have you as a judge if we were hosting one, I would have you as a judge.
There you go.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't want to get overwhelmed with it, but you know, it is a fun. It's so fun to do. As long as me and my dog could travel there, that's good. Or I'll just board him. I found a good place to board my dog. It's an indoor dog park in Arizona, and it's a 20,000 square foot facility. So
wow. And
he's a wild dog, but they have a whole indoor park for him. So he goes there and has so much fun. So
he's just running amok.
I got a good slides. Dog. Shout out to MacPack AZ. We built their website. It's awesome. But yeah, cool.
Well, Jono, I appreciate you being on the show. And yeah, dude, we have a spot for you. We'll bring you back some other time, and we'll just chat it up some more. You're just a wealth of conversation.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck in everything that's going to happen from here on out in your life. And just, you know, make sure you enjoy the ride of all the changes that your life is going to have from here on out.
Yeah. Enjoy all the Japanese media that you're going to be doing tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my biggest thing, and I haven't really put it out there, but like when you lead with your heart, your whole world will change. And it's gotten me here. So I'm gonna keep doing that, and we'll see what's to come.
You do you, man. It's obviously working out for you.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
All right.
Congratulations again, bud.
Yeah,
Thanks. I
congratulations.
appreciate it.